All right, welcome back to another episode of Amateur Hour. I am James, your host, joined by...
Me.
You're a sick son of a bitch. Why'd you wait so long?
I thought you were going to say joined by my co-host like you always do.
Oh, shit. That's, you're right. That's on me. That's on me. We are reviewing TRON ARES. If you have not listened to our episodes on TRON 1982 and TRON Legacy, you should go do that. They're pretty great. If you like TRON Legacy, don't listen to the TRON Legacy one, because then you'll be sad. But TRON ARES, watched it. It just recently came out, and it made $1 trillion.
Yep.
Starring Jared Leto, and he plays TRON ARES. I thought it was pretty good. I think if I were to rate the films in terms of each other, I'd say TRON Legacy and TRON 1982 are very close in quality. Never mind, let me rephrase. They're very close in my enjoyment of them. I think I enjoy both of them equally, even after Joshua kept bashing it over the head with a rock. But TRON ARES, I like you know what? I think I like them all equally, actually. I've heard a lot of people say that TRON ARES was terrible and it was so bad and blah 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 blah. But I thought it was not.
Don't worry, I definitely won't be saying that.
I thought that it was an okay following up, and it does not include TRON at all.
Nope.
I've heard people say that
let's just rip that Band-Aid off. TRON is gone.
TRON is gone. I've heard people though say that ARES is the new TRON, and ARES now fights for the user because he fights for Isabella or whatever the hell her name is.
He's not even in the grid by the end of the movie.
The grid's coming to them.
Stupid.
It's their destiny, man. Out there is our destiny.
TRON is not a title. TRON is a person.
Out there is our destiny. Okay, but again, I've been seeing that I've been seeing that ARES is the new TRON. He is now TRON. Because he fights for the user. He fights for Eve Kim. Anyway, so we have Eve Kim, we have ARES, we have Julian Dillinger. Kevin Flynn is kind of in it, but also not really. There's Elizabeth Dillinger. And then, God, what is that one chick's name? Athena. There we go. And then there's Seth. Seth is fine. AJ Singh is in this for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know who these people.
You cut out. You don't know who the people are. Yeah, they're not very.
I don't know who these people are.
The only reason that I'm remembering their names right now is because I have it pulled up on Letterboxd.
Oh, okay, good.
I actually did remember Athena's name. Athena's name is not mentioned. Her character name is not mentioned in Letterboxd. At least currently while I'm looking at it. You guys, hold on. Little ASMR. Oh, you hear that? One more time. Oh, that was a Kit Kat.
What have we become?
What?
What have we become?
What have we... I'm tired. We filmed all 3 of these episodes at the same time.
Yeah.
And when I say same time, I mean there's 3 different versions of me and Josh recording at the same time.
What?
So, anyway, so Eve Kim and Seth Flores, they're in Antarctica or something, and they're trying to find the permanence code that Kevin Flynn.
Is that how the movie starts?
No, the movie starts with Ares like being born, basically.
Exposition.
Oh, Yeah, the worst exposition you've ever heard in your entire life. Oh my god. It's worse than the last one.
Do you have it written down? Or no?
Like what happens? Like what it says?
But yeah, what it says.
I saw the movie twice in theaters, so I'm pretty locked. So basically, it begins with a recap of Kevin Flynn coming to power in the company, and it's the graphics look pretty cool, but it's all done through like TV reports, news reports, and
Okay, can I read you a line? I found it.
oh yeah, sure.
The company that started at Kevin Flynn's arcade in the 1980s has faced years of corporate turmoil. He did not start Encom.
No, he did not.
The movie in the opening minute has the lore of the world wrong.
Yeah.
This just shows you what we're in for, guys.
We're cooked. And then it's like, yeah, Sam Flynn, no longer in charge of the company. Gave it over to Eve Kim. Also, Eve Kim's sister is dead. She died of cancer or something. And that's the whole thing. That, they're just like, and then they're talking about Julian Dillinger. It's really bad exposition.
Sam Flynn left the company for, quote, personal reasons, unquote.
Yeah. Not in the film. Those guys are not here. And then it shows the eye from Mission Impossible. No, everything looks like it looks like I'm seeing it everywhere now. I'm seeing like the robot from Wall-E, Otto. I'm seeing it everywhere, man. I'm seeing it in people's profile pictures. I'm seeing it in Mission. It inspired Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2 or Final Reckoning. It inspired 2001: A Space Odyssey, I think.
I know this is rage bait, but I kind of just want you to look dumb. So I'm going to let you keep going.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I guess without context, it just looks like I'm an idiot.
He's doing a bit, everyone.
Anyway, so it shows the beginning shows ARES being born, basically, being the program being created and trained by Julian Dillinger, and then Julian Dillinger basically talks to him the same way like Master Control was in the first one. There's just like this big face, but he says to ARES like, "You are Master Control." He fights for the program, basically. Like he isn't like. He is the opposite of what TRON is at the start. And then he spawns him into the real world because they have that technology now. So basically it's like the laser from the first two movies, it is like a reversed laser. So instead of lasering people in, it lasers people out. And they laser ARES and this big ship out. And they show these military people what they can basically generate. And they're marketing him as like the perfect soldier. But he can only exist for 29 minutes. And so because he can only exist for 29 minutes, they need this permanence code, right? And that's what Eve Kim and Seth are looking for in Antarctica or wherever the hell they are. And so Dillinger Corporation, so there's two systems in this movie. There's Encon system number 2 and then the Dillinger system. And Julian Dillinger is in charge of the Dillinger Corporation, which broke off from ENCOM, basically. And Julian wants to use the system for military applications, and ENCOM wants to use it for like humanitarian causes, like ending world hunger. And so they have this orange tree that they're spawning in, and they're trying to use the permanence code to make the orange last forever. I'm a little hungry, so I'm going to eat one of Grandma's cookies. The Grandma's chocolate chip cookies.
So, they're, what are the characters' names?
Eve Kim and Seth Flores.
Eve Kim and Seth Flores go to Alaska, where Flynn.
Oh, is that where they were? I wasn't even close.
I can't remember. Flynn made this, right?
I can't remember if it was Sam Flynn or if it was Kevin Flynn. I think they say Kevin.
I believe Kevin Flynn made it. So Kevin Flynn made this place in Alaska, which is like an off-grid computer system, like an off-grid office for him to use, basically. And so they need to look through all of his floppy disks to find the impermanence code. Guess what technology does not remain the same under cold temperature? It's what they're using.
Microwaves?
It is the floppy disk.
Wait, what are you saying?
The floppy disks, when they're under cold weather, which right now they're in Alaska, they will degrade and lose information.
How do you know that?
Because I looked it up.
Vulnerable to cold weather.
I'm
wow.
Not petty.
How did
already the movie's broken.
Was this on a hunch?
These have been here. Yeah, these have been here. What, 30 years? In the cold.
You really did your research for this. I'm impressed.
I did. Yeah. So it's broken. The movie's broken. Because they will get the impermanence code for this. That makes no sense whatsoever. We're already doing pretty bad. We're like 5 minutes in. So that's fun. Anyways, Seth Flores, he's just kind of the comic relief character. He's really annoying. He adds nothing to the story. He should be cut and removed.
He likes burritos.
That's it. He doesn't have a single funny line. He should not be in the film. Yeah, so then I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, then so this we mentioned it in the last recording, but this destroys the plot of Legacy. Impermanence code. And we know since Clue's a copy of Flynn, he would have known about the impermanence code. So it's kind of already messing up Tron Legacy. Not to mention, we're just ignoring the ISOs and how revolutionary Core is supposed to be. So we ruined the ending of that movie as well. Let's keep looking. What comes next? Mr. Bad Guy is giving a demonstration to the United States government about ARES, as well as all this technology. He can print stuff up from his grid. And he's like, he lies to them about the 29-minute timer, because all these creations disappear at 29 minutes, which, first off, it's pretty lucky that this presentation for this, like,
only lasts 29 minutes.
Life-changing, world-changing thing doesn't accidentally go over time. Because the second it does and your guy disappears, you're screwed. Not to mention, if you just told them the truth, like, you could probably secure more funding. But I think the fact he's lying is a little strange. because it's like, what if they asked to see more? What if they stayed there more than 29 minutes? And then it's like, what if you just said, oh, look at this life-changing thing we can create at will for 30 minutes, which is insane in itself. But then you could go, we just need a little bit more funding to get the impermanence code. And then he could probably make more money, but he doesn't. So I think all of that's kind of dumb. And then we see Ares go like, hey man, it's raining. I'm feeling things. Which I think is weird because the grid is physical to them. So he's felt things. I get he hasn't felt rain, but it's not like he doesn't have physical senses. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But both of Dillinger and his mom, Dillinger, the older woman one, they both notice this. They notice he's having feelings and emotions, and they just ignore it. And throughout the film, Dillinger will keep noticing this and not do anything about it, which is just really frustrating. It's like the entire plot hinges on the fact he feels emotions, and Dillinger could have stopped it at any time. Dillinger's an idiot in this. I really hate his character.
Yeah, and he's like threatened before, like anyone that doesn't like any program that doesn't follow the directive or is acting weird in some way will be deleted. Like he's threatened it, but he just doesn't do it to Ares for whatever reason.
Yes.
And like he can do it. Like he's done it to other programs. When he tasks the programs, or he gives Ares the task of going and stealing data to find out where Eve Kim is, so that he can steal a permanence code from her or figure out like what she's doing. They get all the information. They figure out that Eve Kim has found the permanence code and that she's coming back. He nukes the NCOM system, kills it, destroys it, along with all of his programs, but they can respawn, so it's fine. And Cameron Monaghan's character, who I saw him in the trailer, thought he was going to be a big part of the movie, saw him in the movie. He is there for one scene. I think he has screen time for like 2 minutes. He's not...
Yep.
They could have chosen anyone else. Anyone else. It would have been a cheaper movie.
Yep, I don't know why they added him.
He's unnecessary.
Strange.
Yeah. But Dillinger kills him. He's like, oh yeah, he's not a program anymore. He doesn't exist.
Yep.
Like, so what's the point?
I don't know. There's a part where Dillinger literally tells TRON, he's like, wherever these feelings are coming from, I'll find them and I'll rip them out of you.
You called Ares TRON.
Dang it.
I
was thinking because TRON Ares. But
Sure.
anyways, he literally says he'll rip it out of the code. And then you kind of go, why aren't you doing that? Why haven't you done that? And the movie goes, because the plot would end, which is what I typically call bad writing. So yeah, it's pretty dumb. Dillinger's dumb. He also hacks NCOM during their they're about to launch a new version of one of Kevin Flynn's games, key jangling, and he hacks the NCOM system, and he's looking through the files just to see if Eve Kim has the impermanence code, and then he nukes the whole thing, and it's like, okay.
What did that do? What was the point of that?
You had no reason to assume she'd have the impermanence code? Like he knows she's looking for it, but he just randomly decides, well, maybe she has it already. And it's like, do you think if she had it, it wouldn't have already been like announced or something? Do you think if she had it, she wouldn't be at the event? Because if she already had it, she'd be at the event. So he's just looking for no reason. And then he destroys their servers on the night of a big product launch. And it's like, and then he calls one of the MCOM workers, AJ, and basically gloats about what he did. And it's like, hey, buddy, this is illegal. You're actually going to get in trouble for this? And he just never thinks about it. It's like, it's really obvious who did it. But then the fact he calls them and gloats over it is like, yeah, actually, you're getting arrested right now, like right after this. But he doesn't because the movie's dumb. So that's that. That's Dillinger being dumb. Tron Ares, Mr. Ares, he tries to save the Cameron Monaghan program when he's dying, and it's like, he can be rebuilt. Like, he revives. Death is meaningless in this world, unfortunately, which I think is a massive writing mistake. But death is meaningless, so I don't know why he cares so much about saving him. It's just a really strange moment. Yeah, what else is there? So Eve gets the impermanence code somehow from the floppy disk, which would have deteriorated. And she starts coming back. And I don't remember how, but Dillinger finds out she is and she's got it. Do you remember how he found out?
He was looking through. It was the information that Ares acquired. He was looking at like camera footage or like satellite footage.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so they find this, and Dillinger goes, okay, I need to get Eve, I need to get the impermanence code. What do I do? What he does is he prints out Ares and Athena. She's just another fighter, basically. And he prints out light cycles, and he goes, hey, guys, why don't you drive out there and intercept her and steal it from her in the middle of this city?
Bad idea. How did bro not think of the consequences of that? Seeing
fun fact, Dillinger, about 2 hours ago, you showed this technology to the United States government, and you're now wreaking havoc across the city and harassing your opponent, who you should be in trouble for hacking her company anyways. So the point is, after all of this, he should be deposed from the board of directors immediately or arrested, which, like, yeah, he would. You sent these things out into a city and destroyed property and tried to get someone. And it's all public. This happened in public. The movie's over. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this is it. And it's like, he has hired goons who he sends out with, like, the laser gun, and they laser Eve at the end of the big chase sequence.
Yeah, they could have sent those guys out.
Dude, you could have sent people who maybe weren't dressed in, like, neon red. Are you dumb? He is. He's an awful character.
Glowing neon red, no less.
He's supposed to be, like, you know, boy genius running the company. He's an idiot. He's extremely annoying. I can't stand him on screen, and the fact he's just, like, he's just an idiot, and it's hard to watch, and it's annoying, because normal human beings are not this dumb, especially when you've been put in charge of a company and you're allegedly smart. Yeah, that's that. The light cycle fight is a little weird. There's some moments of luck in there for Eve, and she survives things. She also essentially kills Athena without knowing Athena's a program. And
launches a motorcycle towards her skull.
Yeah, no reconciliation or contemplation of that.
And then she falls like 10 stories down.
She lives, so don't worry about it. Then Eve gets sent to the Dillinger grid, and her disk is unstable. I don't know why. This is the end of my notes. You're going to have to keep carrying us through. By the way, everything I have is longer than any of the other movies so far.
So once she gets in the once she's in the grid, she gets like, and it's different how people get in the grid every time. Like the way she gets zapped, it looks similar to Legacy. But in Legacy, right, Sam Flynn just like gets there and he already has everything. Like he's already able to move around, like he's chilling. But now, it has to process the data and build Eve Kim, and then she doesn't get her form doesn't have autonomy until the disc is placed on her back.
Yeah, and the disc is unstable.
What do you mean?
It's just unstable for some reason. That's why they can't just take the info off it without killing her.
Oh, I see.
And I guess the best defense for this is that she'd be foreign to the Dillinger system, I guess. I don't think it's a very good explanation at all, and it doesn't explain why the disc wouldn't be working. But that's what we need for the plot to happen. So
yeah, but once she's in there, they realize that okay, we can't. So her, all the data disks have all the information she knows, even if she can't remember it. And so they have to extract that data, but it'll kill her. So then Ares goes over and he's like, hey, so this will kill her. And he's like, and there'll be no evidence? And he's like, yeah, no, there'll be no trace that she was ever in here, man. And he's like, okay, kill her.
No, buddy. No.
There will be some evidence. What about the guy that shot her in there?
An entire city saw your people chasing after her, and if she just disappears, you're just done, even more than you already are. He's just continually dumb.
Yeah, but God, Julian Dillinger, what a dumb man. But yeah, so then Ares goes back and he's like, hey, he's preoccupied. And Dillinger. And Athena's like, what do you mean? And he's like, he's stuck in traffic. I think Ares had some funny quips. He had some good lines.
I feel like that's dumb. There would have been moments where Dillinger just wouldn't have been available. I don't know why Athena is like, what do you mean not available? And he's like, oh, he's stuck in traffic. Oh, he's in the bathroom. Oh, it doesn't matter. I gave you an order. And it's like, no, why would you say that? Why not just say he's just not there? Like you would. It's just like really sloppy dialogue. It's not a character at all. Hello?
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then he 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 says like, can I trust you? And she's like, I don't know. What? I don't get that. She keeps saying like, I don't know if you can trust me, like blah 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 blah. Every time he's like, can I put my faith in you? She's like, I don't know. I wouldn't trust me. What did she do?
Why would you say that?
It's not explained.
Why would you say that? Could I trust you? Why would she be motivated to say no? He's clearly trying to help her.
It like,
Just like, I don't know why she says no. It's just more like just bad dialogue. Just like, you're doing this for no reason. And it's going to come up later. They're going to like, TRON, or ARES is going to say, what is he, like she says, can I trust you back to him? And he says, probably not, right?
no, I don't think he ever says that. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, they repeat the phrase. I don't remember who specifically says it, but they do repeat that moment. And it's like, guys, that just didn't make sense. Why would she say that?
Yeah.
It screws her over. So I think that's just really bad.
But anyway, so then they get out of the grid, and there's like a cool sequence, and the soundtrack's playing by Nine Inch Nails. Goated soundtrack.
I like that sound.
And they get out and they're respawn. So basically, like, the portal is on constantly, so they can leave whenever they want. Really, they don't even have to listen to Dillinger. You know,
which is extremely dumb.
Yeah, which like in Legacy, I think that was good that it turned off after one cycle. You know, so they can't leave, and it's not easy to leave. You know, you have to take the Solar Sailor. You know, and it like takes time to get there. This one, it's just like really it's just available. You know, and they can leave whenever the hell they want.
Yes,
and like
it makes no sense. Why on earth would Dillinger design it that way?
And like when ARES left with Eve and came into the real world, Dillinger was like, what? And it's like, brother, what do you mean what?
You designed it that way. I don't know why he would do that. It's just another example of him being dumb. He's just like the dumbest character ever. It's so frustrating to watch. So basically, Athena or Tron's ARES is gonna save Eve, and so Athena's suspicious because she would be, because Tron was speaking like he was
being hella weird.
Yeah, for no reason, and it's like all right, whatever. So then, what was I gonna point out? Oh yeah, then Athena comes back to fight him with two guards, and they start walking towards them, and ARES like throws his disc and breaks the floor they're standing on. And
this is before they leave.
ARES is meant to be like the best fighter. Like, he's trained against so many bots. He's meant to be, like, the best they got.
Well, he needed a way to get out, like the quickest way.
He easily could have killed him and then just found a better way out. Because his plan to get out is to break the floor, fall. The two guards hit, like, lasers. And ARES and Eve don't, which is really lucky. And then they just reach the bottom and use a little boat thingy. And it's like, you're really lucky.
It is not a boat.
Lasers.
It's like a speeder.
Like a skimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they use that, and then Eve is like, then he's like, can we make a deal? And he's like, can I get the impermanence code? And she's like, why? So you could bring it to Dillinger? And it's like, have you been paying any attention at all? Like, because Eve is meant to be intelligent too. And it's just like, why would they literally said they could just take it from you and kill you?
Yeah.
But why do you not trust him all of a sudden? He saved your life. He fought his own men. And it's just like all the characters are just so dumb. They're just not thinking at all. Yeah. So they go in the portal. They spawn into the real world. Dillinger's just kind of sitting there. And it's like, yeah, whatever. What would happen if you just turned the machine off midway through printing them?
That's a good question.
That would have been funny. Anyways, so then he's like, "What? You want to be Pinocchio? You want to be a real boy? You're so dumb. It'll never happen. You got 29 minutes, and then you're dead."
29 minutes. Anyway, then they make it to the Encom tower.
I want to add something.
Okay.
Ares, all he knows is that she got the impermanence code from Alaska.
Yeah, he really has no clue what it does.
There's no way to reach it in 29 minutes. They get lucky that Flynn has a second copy. Ares doesn't know that. So Ares is just an idiot again because he makes a really dumb deal. Like the deal doesn't make any sense. Because if I bring you out of here, will you get me the impermanence code? And it's like, dude, you can't, with the information you have, it can't be done in 29 minutes. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a bad deal. But whatever.
He's going on faith.
I guess so. So then they head to Encom Tower. After some shenanigans, they steal a car and they listen to Depeche Mode on the radio. That'll be very important.
Very important.
Guys. Yeah, and so basically Flynn has a copy of the Alaska office in the Encom Tower. So they're basically just able to find the impermanence code in there. And they set up another laser. And we skipped some really dumb things, but they're minor. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. There's so much in this that's just dumb and really bad.
Wait. They didn't have another copy of the permanence code in the computer.
You're right.
They needed to go into the old system. My understanding is that they were all going to go into the old system. Or at least just Ares and Eve.
Ares.
And inside the old system, they were going to find... They were going to access it from there using her disk. But she didn't make it in because Athena stole the laser that puts you into the Dillinger system. And so she was coming to zap both of them back to zap Eve back into the Dillinger system. And Ares was going to die.
Yep.
And then they ended up... Ares ran off to grab Athena for some reason.
Yeah, let's mention Athena shows up in a flying thing. And at this point Ares has 3 minutes before he dereses. And she's just going to wait for him to derez or go into the system, and then she'll get Eve so she can basically hack her mind and get the info.
And they should have just zapped Eve in first. But then Tron is like, hold on, I have an idea. And then he's running across...
Genius idea.
He's running across the top floor towards Athena to grab her, but he's about to get derezed. He's literally 3 seconds away when he launches towards her. What was it going to accomplish if he grabs her? And then luckily,
also say
the machine zaps him in.
Yeah, they zap him in. So let's also remember, she's just hovering. She can move. She can go up or to the side, and then he would just fall down. And it's just like, Ares is just being an idiot again. And they're trying to make it a big self-sacrificial moment, and it just doesn't work at all. On several levels, it's just completely broken. So that's dumb. But then he gets beamed into Flynn's grid, which that's the same as the first movie, right?
Yeah, so he's now in the original NCOM system from the first film.
Yeah.
Which looks incredible. Oh my god. This is my favorite part of the movie.
Key jangling.
Yeah. But I feel like this is good key jangling. This is allowed.
No.
Yeah, because it's like, it's part of the world, you know, like it's part of the plot. Like it has to happen, right? Him saying it's all in the, so the frickin' Seth, right? He's going to put the frickin' orange tree into the real world. And as he's doing it, he's like, it's all in the wrist.
Oh yeah, that was really bad.
Stupid. He's never met Kevin Flynn. He's never heard him say that. Why
would he be saying that?
Yeah. And then also frickin' couple more that I forgot about. AJ Singh, his character, he's like calling Dillinger, right? Or when Dillinger's calling to like gloat, and Dillinger at the end, he's like, end of line, and like slams it down. Bro thinks he's tough.
Yeah, that's
what are you doing? And then there was another one. God, what was it? Oh, at the very beginning. Well, when the Dillinger programs break into the TRON system, I swear to God, the security guard dropping his coffee is a shot-for-shot remake of the security guard dropping his coffee in Legacy. And it's, for what? For what?
It feels like a really weird thing to reference, yeah.
Oh my God, the security guard dropped it. The only reason that I remembered is because I've seen Tron Legacy like 10 times since I watched it for the first time in April.
Oh.
Like,
anyways.
Doesn't make any sense. Why on earth? Nobody is sitting there in the theater. Okay, I can guarantee, like, maybe when Julian Dillinger, I thought it was annoying, but when Julian Dillinger was like, end of line, or when somebody was like, or when Seth was like, it's all in the wrist, or like when people saw the original system, or when they saw the bits, because the bits come back in the original system, right? Oh, okay, there's because you're exploring the original system, or that's what Ares is doing. So you see like the crack in the light cycle game grid that Tron, Kevin, and Ram escaped through in the first movie. And I remember seeing that in the theater, and I was like, no way! And then I saw the bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that's so sick. You know what I didn't care about? Him dropping the coffee. I wasn't sitting there and being like, oh, he dropped the coffee just like he did in the first one. Oh my God. No.
Yeah,
no one was thinking that.
Done.
What is the point?
I don't know.
God.
Reference. Key jangling. Yeah, so he's in the original grid.
Yeah, he's in the original grid. He sees a bit, and he's talking to the bit. Then
what? The bit kind of takes him to digitized Flynn, which isn't actually Kevin. It's like a representation of Flynn.
Yeah. And you get to see all, as you're going through, you get to see all the cool or all the things from the original movie. So that's cool. But yeah, like, and I don't know how they're going to explain this. I don't know how Kevin Flynn is in there. My assumption is that Sam Flynn somehow used Kevin Flynn's disc that he gave to Quora to upload his consciousness onto the first system. You know?
Yeah.
But it's just like the essence
movie.
of him. It's not actually Kevin.
Yeah, and that's all stuff you kind of got to come up with.
Yeah.
It's just not in the movie.
Like, this is my brain canon. I made this up.
Yep, it'd be nicer to have explained it, but
Yeah.
that's all right.
I really would like to know how they made the original system in this movie, because, you know, in the first movie they filmed everything in black and white and colored it exactly. And like the system itself looks really good. You know? But I like Tron doesn't look quite right. Like, he looks a little bit different than he should.
Yeah, he's got a weird filter on.
Yeah, and then Kevin Flynn, like, he does not match his surroundings, you know? Like, he looks... It's like if you took... you know what it feels like? It's if you played, like, Red Dead, right? And you're playing Red Dead, and then you see the Red Dead Redemption 2 version of John Marston in Red Dead. It would feel weird. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you saw a Minecraft character in Roblox.
Yeah, it felt a little weird. So, could have been better. Then he talks with Flynn, right?
Yes. Ares talks with Flynn, and he's talking about just life and being whatever. And Jeff Bridges, like, some of his lines feel weird. So I feel like maybe some of the lines were filmed at different points and not when he was standing right in front of... Like, it feels like he recorded his lines separately from Jared Leto.
I feel like at this point he kind of just didn't care and was in this for the money.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was exactly giving it his all, is what I'll say. Which I don't blame him.
But also, I forgot my favorite line. When Seth sees the original computer as they're about to send TRON, or as they're about to send ARES into it, Seth is like, "Oh my God, look how ancient that thing is, man." And then he apologizes to hold on, let me find it.
Apologizes to Ares?
Yeah, he apologizes to Ares, and he says, God, it's...
Says a thing. I don't remember what he says.
I can't find it. I wrote it down, but anyway, I don't have the exact quote, but basically he's like, he's like, look at that old computer system. Look how ancient that is. Like, freaking, that thing sucks. And then he looks back, and then he looks to Tron. He's like, or he looks to Ares, and he's like, "Oh my God, I just insulted your whole ancestry. I'm so sorry." And that made me laugh. That was pretty funny. Oh, here it was. Sorry, that was massively offensive to your ancestors. I thought that was a good line. That made me laugh.
That might be the funniest joke of the movie.
Yeah, the rest of the movie's not very funny.
Shows how bad the rest of the movie is. But yeah, Ares is talking to Flynn, and they talk about Depeche Mode and how even though Bach Spock, right? Even though Bach is like a
and then
regarded.
Jeff Bridges is like, does anybody even know who Bach is anymore? Brother, what?
Oh, yeah, that was a weird line. Because, yeah, people do. I don't know what the movie was trying to say with that. But then Ares is like, even though he's like regarded as the best ever, I like Depeche Mode.
Something about their poppy hooks and techno sound.
Techno sound, and then he trails off, and he's like, he can't describe it because it's his emotions, and because of that, he prefers it over Bach, which same, but is just like, it's just a really basic exploration of an AI. Like, oh, he feels emotion.
Yeah, it could have gone deeper.
It's like we could have done a lot more.
However, he feels kind of childlike, you know, and hopeful, you know, and he's kind of like he's experiencing life as though he's like a kid and he's never experienced anything before, which I think is kind of there's something cool there. I think.
No, I feel like he shouldn't. Personally, I don't know. Just feels very basic to me. Just lame. Could have done more. Could have been better. I'll just say that. Character-wise, there is not much to Ares at all. He's a guy who starts feeling emotions, and he betrays the bad guys, and that's about it.
Yeah.
It's like the most basic arc you could possibly do. There's things like we'll talk about towards the end that I think messes things up that way. But we'll get to that in a second. Anyways, then Flynn gives him the impermanence code and sends him back to the world. And now he's on his last life.
And also, this portal scene looked the best out of all of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked it. Then, meanwhile, Eve and other guy barely defeat.
Seth gets his shit rocked, dude. He gets like launched at Mach fuck at a.
This was the best part of the movie.
At a goddamn Pac-Man machine or something, and he should have been. He should have died.
It was like second player defeated.
Yeah, and it like
just dead.
There's no way in hell that he survives that, because he was launched, dude. But somehow he lives.
No.
There are no stakes. No stakes. That's a big issue with the film, is that for the most part there's no stakes. I mean, I'm glad that the impermanence code exists.
I mentioned it a little, like the entire first parts of the movie. None of the guys inside the grid can die, so it does feel pretty stakeless. Which is annoying. But, yeah, so, what was I going to say? Basically, Eve fought off Athena long enough for her time to run out, and the sprinklers came on, and
it distracted her, and then she de-rezzed.
And
stupid.
We'll keep this in mind. Let's just say we'll keep it in mind that Athena does feel things like Ares does. So it is pretty lucky that even though she had the timer going and could see she was about to de-res, she was
rain? Water?
She was just too struck to do anything.
Yeah.
They have water at the grid. It's not like there's no water.
Yeah, the entire bottom of it is water. I mean, yeah, it's like grid water. It's like pixels, which that was really cool actually when they're in the grid and like she reaches down and like touches the water at the bottom and it's like pixels. That was pretty sick. That was some good VFX.
I guess it was fine.
All right. But anyway, so now she's back in the grid, and then she gets out, and she's coming back for vengeance, right? She's spawning she spawns in a recognizer and like 2 other programs, and she's going back, and then Julian Dillinger tries to stop this thing, you know, and his mother's been present the whole time, like talking to him and being like, "Son, you're an idiot. What are you doing?" And like he loves his mother, but he ain't listening to her apparently. And then he tries to stop Athena from, or he sees Athena like start downloading the recognizer, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm following your directive. You told me at all costs do this thing," which like that's a cool concept. But if you can just change the directive, then what's the point? You know, like it could have been done better.
All Dillinger has to say is, "No, stop. This isn't what I meant."
Yeah, like
I'll give you a new directive.
Reaffirm, like redefine your directive. But anyway, then freaking Julian Dillinger's mom, Elizabeth Dillinger, she's like, "I'm putting a stop to this." And she starts walking up to the spawner or whatever to destroy it, and then she stabs her.
No.
And it's like, oh, dang it!
Character die.
Could not have seen that coming.
That's really lame.
Yeah, and then like Julian runs over and he's like, "No, Mom. God, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Oh my gosh." And then Athena is like, "I have taken care of the impediment, scanning for other impediments or whatever." And then he just sits there and she's like, "Okay, sick." And then she moves on and goes out into the city to go back. And then at this point, ARES is back in the world. There are some fighter jets that are going and engaging the recognizer, and the recognizer is pretty good at stopping them. And then there's these people with these like jetpacks, and I will say the whole sequence is pretty visually epic.
I think it's all kind of slop at this point.
You can't deny that visually it looks sick.
I think there's just kind of a lot going on. Maybe the problem is that it's just at this point I've got no investment in the story.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure, like story is king. You know, you could have something that looks sick, but if the story sucks, people aren't gonna care. People care more about story than they do about good.
Yes.
Good writing. I mean, good. You get what I'm saying. Unless the visual things, yeah, people care more about good writing than they do about good visual effects. Yeah. Unless the visual effects are so atrocious that it cannot be ignored.
I mean, yeah, it's
like my beloved Scorpion King.
Yeah. So yeah, they just have this big battle. They stop the 2 planes. Dillinger still isn't doing anything. Also, Athena breaks the machine, right? Or no, his access... Right, I remember. His access happened to get denied at the exact, wrong moment so that he couldn't stop Athena. If it had been 30 seconds before he lost his access... 30 seconds later, then just the entire finale wouldn't work. just like, all right, yeah, that's pretty lucky. Par for the course for this. I would not exactly call that the best writing. Where are we at now? This movie's tiring to talk about.
Yeah.
Because this was just so bad all the way through.
Yeah, so the recognizer like traps Eve in this thing, and it's about to, I assume, like beam her up Scotty.
All right, they like.
But Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday, and Ares shows up and is like, "Hey, dude, screw you." And then she's like, she can tell. She's like, "You got the impermanence code." And up till when he got the impermanence code, they were calling it the permanence code. You know? So.
And then when Flynn gives it, he says it should really be called the impermanence code.
Yeah, because it like makes you mortal. Which makes me think, you know, the orange tree in Alaska? If it's an impermanence code and it makes you like real, like he's a real human being now with like real bones that can be broken, real skin that can feel the cold and probably get hypothermia, the orange tree's gonna die. Because it's an orange tree in Alaska. They're not consistent.
Yeah, it's gonna die.
Because if it makes it like able to die, then it's gonna die.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, so he's mortal now and he can die, but he's still a good fighter and whatever. So now stakes are involved again, which is cool. And then stakes are also given to the Dillinger programs because AJ is able to nuke the Dillinger system. And so now if Athena and those other guys die, they can't respawn. And I get he's doing that like mid-battle. You know, it takes a second for him to kill the Dillinger system. So he's like Tron is fighting, or I mean Ares is fighting, and if Ares dies, it's over, right? And he has to kill them, but if he kills them, they'll just respawn and come back. And so like AJ bombing or nuking the Dillinger system is necessary for them to win. So I think that is one of the few times that they made the stakes good, and it wasn't just like two people who can't die fighting against themselves and like destroying buildings and aura farming. You know, like there were real stakes and other characters were involved and necessary. I think that is the best fight sequence from a writing perspective in the film.
Yeah. None of the other ones are very good.
Yeah. Because again, there's no stakes, you know? And that's fine if like, actually, like, no, I was gonna say that's fine if you're fighting like an insurmountable force and you're like immortal, but then at that point you're still like, there's still stakes, you know? It's like, a really good example is the Tom Cruise Mummy, versus the 1999 Brendan Fraser Mummy, is when they're fighting Emotep at the end of the Mummy 1999. Their Emotep is immortal. And Brendan Fraser is mortal. Brendan Fraser can die, so there's real stakes for him, right? And it's like he cannot win in a one-on-one battle against Emotep. But Evie and Jonathan are working on the sidelines, trying to distract Anck-su-namun and the mummy soldiers. So they're trying to distract them while also reading from the Book of the Dead to make to take away Imhotep's immortality so that he can't die. So there's a lot of moving parts, and all the characters are involved, and it ups the stakes. In The Mummy 2017, right? There's I don't even remember her name. The hot mummy chick, and then Tom Cruise, and they're both immortal, and they're just like fighting each other, and like Tom Cruise, like his character doesn't rely on anybody. You know, it's just like two immortal people beating the crap out of each other until they kiss. And then he like uses the kiss to like suck the life force out of her. But he doesn't rely on anybody else, you know? So it takes away the dynamics and lowers the stakes by a significant amount. So because Ares now is mortal and can die, he has to rely on others in order to help him, you know? In order to win.
Yeah.
So I think that is done pretty well. Anyway, but we can move on. Eventually, AJ Singh bombs, you know, the Dillinger system, and the Dillinger programs are like about to die. And he catches what's her face, Athena, and she's like, "Why did you do it? You did it for her?" Josh, take it away.
Yeah, she says you betrayed us for her, and he doesn't say anything, even though, like, no, he did not betray them for her.
She literally felt the goddamn water.
Yes, he betrayed them because he realized what they were doing was wrong, and he realized that they can feel emotions and should have the autonomy to feel those. And so not only does he have just no response to her question, even though he should, but he also just doesn't try to convince her to stop what she's doing. He doesn't try to save her. We know she can feel the rain just like him. We also saw earlier in the movie with when he was trying to save Cameron Monaghan's character in The Grid, that he deeply cares for the people he works with. And so it's like, why isn't he trying to save her? She can be saved. He was able to break free. She should be able to break free. And when she dies, because she's going to die in a second, they try to paint it as this like tragic moment, and she dies in his arms, and they have this final moment. And it's like, you didn't try to do anything. You didn't try to save her. You didn't try to convince her. You didn't give some impassioned speech about what being human really is. Like, nothing. He just decides to fight her still. And it's like, this is out of character, and I think it really shoots the themes in the foot. Because if our themes are like, oh yeah, he can become human, he can change, he doesn't have to be who Dillinger meant, but we just choose to force her to stay like that. It's just like, you didn't think about things at all, did you? And I think just thematically and character-wise, they completely waste Athena and what her character could mean, which is quite annoying.
Yeah. But that's basically it. After that,
Well, wait a bit. I'd also like to mention, just this is something I thought of watching the movie. They kind of trap Eve in these light beams that come off the light cycles and such, and then their big ship is going to crash, and there's like debris raining down on her. And I was thinking, like, it'd be cool if this was like an intelligent movie with smarter ideas, a smarter script. If the programs had to then save Eve because they're so tied to their directive, they can't let her die because they need her code. But the film just never considers these kind of cool things.
the night.
Which is just annoying, a lot of wasted opportunities. That's just another one of them.
Yeah.
And then they destroy the Dillinger system, and all the bad guys die, and it's a happy ending. And Tron rides off into the sunset to discover who he is. And Eve, I assume does.
She's
things.
back in
I don't-
charge of
I
the
don't-
company,
I
probably.
don't care.
Oh, she has this whole thing where like her sister died of cancer, and so like she's like, man, I'm sad. And Tron's like, all right. Ares is like, you're sad.
Yep.
I can sense it.
It's like, thanks for telling
And
us.
they don't really do
what
anything with
characters
it. Oh, I just remembered one of my favorite parts of the movie. When Ares is like going through this database and like reviewing Eve's file, and he saw a book that she was reading, and it was Frankenstein. And I really, really, really wish the movie would have been so much better if they really played into the Frankenstein themes way more than they did. It's very surface level. They were like sitting there and they're like, this is kind of like Frankenstein. Let's put something in here. If they really went all in on the Frankenstein analogy metaphor, it would have been killer. And there are way better lines in Frankenstein to explain Ares' condition than the one they chose. But it's still pretty peak. He's like, I am fearless and therefore powerful. And I thought that was pretty neat. I was a big fan.
Yeah, they don't do much at all with that.
Yeah, but that's about it. Yeah. A lot of lost potential in this movie, I think. I think it had the potential to be great. If they let every film we review, it's like, oh, they had the potential to be cool, but they fucked it up.
Could have been good.
Could have been good.
Do you think now that we're basically done with the movie, we didn't even cover everything, guys. There's more.
Yeah, there's a lot more that we missed that I can't think
minor
about.
problems and such, but it's just, I think we've covered the basics, the general plot,
Yeah.
the basic characters.
I can't
the
wait
basic and bad characters.
for Tron Destiny, baby. Come on.
World building with very surface level / inconsistent themes. It's just all around bad.
Here's what I'm thinking for the next movie, right? Ares is searching for... Here's what I think is going to happen if they release it. I think they will in another 15 years. And hopefully at that point, Jared Leto will be dead. And we'll like use his AI likeness, you know? To make the movie. But Ares will go search for Sam and Cora. And they gotta, because the Dillinger system still exists. So we forgot this part. So Julian Dillinger, the cops obviously are on the way to Dillinger Incorporated.
Finally.
Because, you know.
I did forget this part. This is the end credits scene.
Because Dillinger Systems took out multiple cop cars, disrupted traffic across the entire city, took out buildings, destroyed 2 F-16s. Like they pulled a Superman and destroyed a whole city block. Like, but this time there were stakes. And no one's necks got snapped. I don't think any civilians died. But yeah, so like the cops are on their way, and Julian Dillinger, somehow he's back in the system. His thing works again.
Yes, he doesn't have access, yet he accesses it.
Yeah. And then he zaps himself into the Dillinger system, which still exists even after being nuked. I don't understand. And it's like right when the NCOM system got nuked, everything was fucked. But when the Dillinger system got nuked, like, things were still able to work, you know?
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
And Julian Dillinger is sitting there and he's like looking out into the vastness of the system. And it's like really windy, and I would assume cold, but I'm not sure if he can feel anything if he's in the system. My assumption is that you cannot feel pain or cold when you're in the system, but I really have no clue. You can be intoxicated in the system, apparently, because the programs in Legacy were drinking booze. This is also confusing. But anyway, so then like this disc appears, and it's the same disc that Sark has in the 1982 version.
Key jangling.
But again, I don't think this is bad key jangling, because this is like, I mean, key jangling is like putting in something there for no reason. This is like setting up the next movie.
This doesn't make any sense.
I agree. But Dillinger grabs Sark's disc and becomes Sark. So assumedly the master control program is still in there somewhere, because ARES is now TRON and is no longer the master control program.
That's dumb.
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
But this, yeah. And I think in another 15 years they'll make another one, because it'll end up a cult classic somehow.
I hope it's done.
Reboot it. Let me direct. Let Josh write it.
What else is there to say about the Tron movie?
I don't know. You know, I will say that I've been heavily inspired by Tron in certain things. Joshua wrote a short film about an AI, and I decided to shoot it with great inspiration from Tron Legacy and Tron ARES visually. What are your thoughts on this, Josh?
Cool.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd be upset.
No. Visually, they're cool.
They are pretty goated. There was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, by the way, Tron ARES has made more money, has made more in the box office than Tenet, the film by Christopher Nolan. Just a little fun fact for you.
What is the point of that?
I wanted to bag on Tenet, I guess, monetarily.
That released during COVID.
Yeah, released during. It doesn't matter.
Tron ARES were made less than Morbius.
Oh, shit! God, why am I still defending this movie? I'm so loyal.
At the end of all of this, I assume your mind has changed on the movie, right?
I mean, I still enjoy it, but it's not good. You can enjoy movies and understand that they're not good.
Right.
Objectively, this is a bad movie. I will say, objectively, Tron Legacy is not a great movie. I would say middle of the road.
Yeah.
Same with 82.
Yep. So.
But we will be back. Maybe not next week.
We'll be back eventually. My plan is to release these this is the last episode. It doesn't matter. Hopefully, at this point, I've released one every weekend of the month of November. Oh, we might review some Christmas movies next month. That'd be cool. Who knows?
We did review a Halloween movie for October. But we were not locked in on that episode, and we decided it would not be best to release it. And we actually have a couple like that episodes that we were like, these aren't good enough to put out for free. But we're gonna set up a Patreon, and I don't know if you can. I don't know what the lowest price I can put on there is, but I will put the lowest price possible, and I'm linking the Patreon. And if you really want to hear more of us, you psychopath,
you can pay us a little amount of money to get our worst episode.
You can pay us. I wonder. I'll see. Yeah. Hopefully it's $1. If I can go less, I can. I'll go 25 cents. 25 cents. You could pay us 25 cents on Patreon, or whatever the hell it'll be, to watch us not be, or to listen to us not be locked in. But that'll provide you more things to listen to while you do chores. So if you were listening and doing some chores, hopefully you got those chores done. If you got a homework done, hopefully you got that done. Put in the comments what Christmas movies you want to see or what movies in general you want to see next. Hopefully, we'll be able to knock those out.
We make no promises.
We make no promises. This is a side thing for sure.
We make
but
anti-promises.
Yeah. In fact, we hate all of you guys. We don't want to do what you. We don't want to fulfill anything. Come on.
Very true.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Hopefully you got whatever done, and hopefully maybe you're trying to sleep. Maybe our angelic nasally voice helped you fall asleep. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. You guys are the best. I hate all of you. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Bye.